the misconceptions is that we don't believe in God. That's not true.
That's not true at all.
We do. We also just believe in many. So where certain people say Jesus is the only way, we know other ways.
And they work.
And they work.
Yeah.
If you pray, you've conjured. Because you're believing in something that's not there, right? You have to have faith that it's going to work. And you're lighting a candle. You have altars in church. You have altars when someone dies on the side of the road or gets shot. What do? They bring candles. They bring offerings. It's the same thing.
Grand Rising, my lovely butterflies. This is the Awakened Butterfly, and I am back with another video. If this is your first time coming across my channel, please stay for the entire video or check out some of my existing content. If you enjoy this type of content, please don't hesitate to subscribe. Welcome and welcome back, everyone. I missed you guys. I hope you guys had a great and amazing weekend. I pray that everyone is taking care of themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Guys, I was a little under the weather last week. My throat was sore. I feel a lot better now. I'm back. I am about to start uploading more consistently. If you guys have any requests or topics that you would like for me to touch on, please don't hesitate to contact me on my Instagram or my Gmail, and I will leave those links down in the description. Also, I just want to let you guys know that I hope you all are continuing to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I love you guys very, very much. And I appreciate all the love and support that you guys show me on this channel. Also, don't forget to turn on those post notifications so you can be notified every time I post a video. Guys, without further ado, we have something very, very, very important that we need to discuss today. And as you can tell by the title of this video, we will be talking about witchcraft and how it is being used as Satan's modern tool of deception. And in today's video, guys, I will be discussing the history and modern day use of witchcraft and magic and how these supernatural powers are being used today as Satan's main tools of deception. And as we all know, there are so many people in the world who practice some form of witchcraft. And the amount of people who participate in divination practices has grown rapidly since the 1960s. And according to Google research, there are over 1.5 million people in the U.S. alone who practice witchcraft. And guys, this is only in reference to those who has openly identified as a witch or a paganist. And just imagine how many people in the world who are secretly practicing magic and are not open to revealing their identity as a witch or a warlock. Not to mention the large amount of people who are being deceived by some form of New Age spiritual practice or involved in an occult or an organization. And guys, as I said before in one of my previous videos, I too used to be deceived by New Age until the Most High woke me up and pulled me away from it. And guys, it didn't take long before I started to see the darkness that was associated with it. So I can just imagine people who have invested years of their lives into participating in New Age and could be deceived into believing that the things that they are experiencing are from a holy place. But, I guess that's the enemy's plan. That's his plan to make things that are not for us appear as if they are for us. And there are many people who are involved in occult practices and they are not aware of their participation in the dark arts. However, there are many who are involved in these things and they are very much aware of their participation in the dark arts. And these things have not just started happening. These things have been going on since before many of us were even born. People have been practicing magic. And the practice of magic originated from Western civilization in the ancient Roman and Judeo-Christian culture. The tradition spread it, becoming popular in the northern parts of Europe during the Middle Ages before becoming a common practice in various parts of the world. The Western concept of magic was based around divination, religion, and science. And once they developed this mindset, it opened the door for confusion and deception regarding their use of magic. And this is because in the Roman culture, they believed strongly that magicians possessed sacred knowledge as well as a spiritual ability to invoke any supernatural power from any polytheistic spirit, deity, ancestor, or any other supernatural forces of the ancient pantheon. So they really admired these people and they saw them as having some type of sacred power that they felt everyone should look up to and be guided by. And the truth is, neither of these practices connected them with the Most High, but they admired these people for their ability to master the craft of magic and connect with demonic forces, which, as they refer to as deities and ancestors. And this is how many people are being deceived today. Because there are people today who contact different spirits, they set up altars, they call out to different deities, and they say that they're contacting deceased relatives or people who have transitioned that they want to reach out to in order to obtain some type of information from them, in order to gain answers from them for questions that they may have. And they're not realizing that they're opening the door to something else. And during the Middle Eastern times, these type of traditions derived from cultural beliefs regarding the desire to use magic. So not only did these people admire the magicians, they too wanted to become a magician themselves. And many of them desired to become a magician in order to fight against the spells and enchantments that were being used against them by many of the magicians. The countries of Egypt and Mesopotamia also use various forms of magic, including necromancy, which is the ability to communicate with the deceased in order to obtain knowledge regarding the future or any other situation. Also, they were invoking or channeling the spirits. And when they did this, they performed rituals where they opened themselves up, allowing the spirits to work through them. And during these times, when spells were being chanted by sorcerers, magical practices like channeling and necromancy were considered their final defenses against evil magic. So let's just say you have this one group of people who are using these forms of magic, necromancy and channeling the spirits, in order to destroy someone else. And then you have this other group of people who are participating in those same practices, but their intentions are different. Their intentions are to protect themselves from the people who are performing these same practices against them. So there's a big contradiction there, and there's a lot of deception there as well. And many of the rituals also that were included, many of the rituals that they performed included animal sacrifices. And the contest between magic and counter magic You have the magic, I would say, referring to the people who were using it for bad intention. And then you have the counter magic, which were the people who were participating in magic in order to protect themselves from the people who were aiming to attack them with magic. So, you know, during this time, this is what sparked the contrast between black and white magic from the ancient to modern times. You have the white magic representing good or protective magic, and then you have the black magic representing bad or destructive magic. And this is how many are being deceived, because as believers of God, we must understand that biblically, there are two sources of supernatural power: the power of God and the power of Satan. Although the power of Satan is nowhere near and will never be near as strong as the power of God, this supernatural power still exists. And since there are no other sources of power, it is very important to know that there is no difference between white and black magic. So many people are deceived into believing that there is good and bad magic, and there are good and bad witches. But the truth is, regardless of the intention of the witch or the warlock in their participation in the practice of black and white magic, it is all originated from the same demonic source. And many who identify as good witches, or who don't identify as a witch but still practice some sort of white magic, they consider their practices harmless because they feel they are using it for the sole purpose of helping others. And I will give you some examples of white magic. Many people would say that they're using it for healing illnesses and injuries, such as New Age Reiki or crystal healing. Some people will use white magic in the form of divination, referring to fortune telling or tarot card readings. And many people feel that when they give these readings, they are warning someone or advising someone about a past or a future event that could either save them, guide them, or warn them about something so they can avoid some type of havoc or chaos. Also, many who perform white magic also use love spells, and they see them as a form of positivity because they feel that they are bringing someone together. Also, protection spells are performed by people who participate in white magic because they feel that they are saving someone from harm. And just like there's no such thing as good magic, good witches don't exist. And it just makes you think about, what exactly is a witch? Well, a witch is a person, according to Google research, a witch is a person, especially a woman, who is credited with usually having malignant supernatural power. And warlocks, which I would say are also more common today, not just women. There are also several men who practice sorcery as well. So they are more common today as well. And if any of you who don't know what a warlock is, they are basically a male witch. And think about the word malignant. They said that a witch is someone who possesses mainly malignant supernatural power. Well, if you look at the Google definition of malignant, it refers to a disposed cause, something to cause harm, suffering, or distress deliberately, feeling or showing ill will or hatred. So that brings me back to say this again. There is no such thing as a good or bad witch. A witch is a witch. They may have a different title, but it's the same demonic force. Now, black magic is considered to be an evil supernatural power that is intended to cause harm for selfish purposes. And in a lot of these cases, black magic has been connected with necromancy, conjuring demonic spirits, for spell casting, and also for occult rituals. To also, not only perform these rituals for their own selfish gains, but to also cause ill will against another person. It could come in the form of an illness, a misfortune, even delays, in your life. It's also connected with casting evil spells, hexes, or curses over someone's life. And a lot of people do this out of getting revenge towards someone who has hurt them. They may be jealous or envious of this person. A lot of these people use black magic who are participating in occults, or other demonic organizations, or they may even just practice the craft of magic. They may sacrifice someone else's life or destiny for their own selfish gain as well. And also, guys, many examples of black and white magic are depicted in fictional books and movies that we have all seen, such as Wizard of Oz, where Miss Gulch is the bad witch and Glinda is seen as the good witch. Also, in this movie that I'm about to mention, used to be and is still one of my favorite movies. I must be honest, I really like this movie because I learned a lot from this movie, which is the 1996 movie The Craft, where Sarah was considered the good witch and the most powerful because she completed their covenant. And her friends were considered good witches until they abused their powers and began using them to hurt people. And Sarah was using white magic, but she, in the process of using white magic, casted a love spell on her crush, which eventually turned into a dark situation. He became possessed and he, tried to attack her. And her friend became so obsessed with magic, beginning using white magic, that she wanted to cross over to a higher form of magic, and she wanted to possess all the powers of the deity that they were calling upon. And she became incredibly possessed, and she was just out of control at this point. So I don't think that it's safe for people to participate in magic or open up themselves to any type of deities. And also, guys, we can't forget about the popular fictional movie and book series of Harry Potter. And Harry Potter is a warlock. That's his character, who practiced black or white magic based on the movie or book story time event at that time. And I actually researched that, if Harry Potter actually used black or white magic, and I found out through research that he participated in either or, depending on the situation at hand, pertaining to the storyline. But altogether, guys, magic is magic, and it is a form of witchcraft. And like all other forms of witchcraft, it is evil. And in these end times, Satan is using magic as a weapon against humanity by deceiving heavy amounts of people, like heavy practitioners of witchcraft, into believing that they're in full control of everything. And I was just sitting back trying to figure out why everyone, even though it has existed for years and years and centuries, since forever, witchcraft has existed. Why does it seem that over the last few years, people have become heavily invested into learning the craft of magic? And I feel it is because people mainly want control. People want to be in the know, because people fear what they don't know and what's to come in their lives, especially when they're experiencing a hard time. So I feel that a lot of the times people feel that if they master magic and they use it in specific areas of their lives, that they will have complete control over everything and everyone around them. And when in reality, they are being used as one of Satan's puppets in order to destroy everyone around them, including themselves. Because at the end of the day, guys, magic is dangerous because it is a discreet weapon. It is a harmful, discreet weapon. It is something that is difficult to trace and pinpoint. That is why it is very important to have a relationship with God, because He will allow the Holy Spirit to reveal the truth. If something like this has occurred in your life by the hands and words of an evil-spirited person, and you are unaware of it. And today, many people are suffering because someone has secretly placed an evil spell over their life. Guys, the world is an evil place, and it's, it seems that a lot of the time these days, if someone is mad at you and their spirit isn't in the right place, there are no limits to what they may take in order to seek revenge. When a person is hurt, a lot of the times, for certain people, they don't handle it well. You have people who can walk away. You have people who are like, no, I can't let this go. I have to do something about it. I have to let this person feel the same pain that I am feeling. And a lot of the times, this allows Satan to come in and lead the way. This is why it is not good to act off of emotion, because Satan knows how to attack our emotions. Because that, when we're experiencing certain emotions is the time when we're most vulnerable. And this is why you hear so many people all over social media talking about witchcraft and how they had to call on the Most High for deliverance from an illness or a misfortune or a mishap, of some kind as a result of someone doing spell work on them. I'm going to show you guys a couple of clips pertaining to this situation, and I will be right back.
Got sick is because of the witchcraft. Because even still to this day, the doctors don't know where the diseases came from. And they said that the disease is new and it's deadly. So she said, oh, this was meant to unalive you, is the word she used. So you wanted me and my son dead?
Whoever told you that somebody was doing witchcraft on you was absolutely right. I don't know if that girl ever been to your house, but she put something, it could have been in the yard, in the front of your yard. She could have buried it in the dirt. She put something, she did something. She didn't even have to necessarily do it. She could have had her grandma do it. She could have had her mom do it. But they pretty much did death magic on you. And why I say, even after the fact, like if y'all became cool, because you know how sometimes you beef with the other, for a little bit, and then in the end, niggas get cool, whatever. No, baby, that was the cover up. That was the setup. That girl hates you.
What type of hate?
You're not wrong at all, and don't let nobody make you feel like you're wrong, because you're not.
Because this is sick to me. Imagine if I just go light a candle, make him love me. Or go play with a doll and put pictures, make him love me. I would never do that. I'm not going that far of an extent to make somebody care about me or love me or stay with me forever, make them stay with me forever. You went and go played with something to make me and my son. And that's why it makes sense to why me and my son caught COVID twice. Me and my son had the flu. My boyfriend had nothing. He had none of this stuff but live in a house with us. And they said the reason why he didn't have nothing because it wasn't sent for him. It was sent for me and Duda. So that's why me and Duda kept getting sick. Me and Duda kept going to the house. Are you serious? And you sit there comfortably pretending that you love this man. And you know what you did. You could play like that with him. You could play with those people, play on the internet, go try to make it seem like I'm bitter, I'm mad, I'm angry. I sat here and I ain't even cuss. I am at peace. But the people are going to know what you did. People are going to know what you've done. And you're going to know that I know what you did. It's one thing to do it to me like I said. You did it to my son. A little boy that you pretend that you love. Your child is his sibling. How do you sleep at night? As a woman, how do you sleep? And one day, your day is going to come. Trust me, you can never get away with doing evil things. So then she texts my phone when we get into an argument. I'm going to put it right here. The message. You mad he don't call you and your son, and he never will. What type of female says that? My son was affected by his dad going to jail. I had to deal with that. What type of female talks like that about a kid, but they say they love their father?
There is no such thing as white witchcraft. Witchcraft is witchcraft. Tarot cards, card reading, everything to know about astral projection, Tibetan Book of the Dead, Buddhism, anything there was to know about spirit guides. And what I would do is I would astral project out of the body, enabling spirits to come in, because in witchcraft, I believe that if I could get my own spirit, I could be empowered by bringing spirit guides in. Now understand, I was of the mind that these spirits that were coming in, spirit guides, were nice. I became very, very studious about astrology, witchcraft, card reading, and that card reading became my niche. Sid, I would walk into a room with a deck of cards and read everybody's mail, just by that deck of cards, and I thought I was the best thing since the McDonald's hamburger. I thought I had finally come to a place of prominence because I could intimidate people. I could make them afraid of me because I was operating in these powers. And I never knew they were demonic, or I thought that I had come into this great power that I had been looking for. The trouble is, when you play with the devil, he doesn't play fair. He'll give you everything you want, all the drugs you want, all the women you want, all the promises, and all the power you want. And when he's done with you, he'll kick the legs out from under you. That's why you hear rock stars sometimes say, I sold my soul to the devil. Because once you make that trade, he'll give you what you want. But people need to understand that the devil is not sharing his kingdom with anyone. He's selfish and hateful, and his personality is that of hate and violence. And so as I began to encounter these spirits, from a pleasant person, even though I was a fall-down drug addict, I began to take on the personality of the devil. I began to act. I began to hate. I began to all the more. And I love to see people hurt. Like, I'd like to do a card reading where I knew a man was committing adultery. I'd name names, and it was just an evil behavior. And so here I was with these spirits operating in this power, cursing people. I cursed one man's city, fell 3 stories into a wheelbarrow. Thank God that wheelbarrow was there, because he would have been killed. I was astral projecting. I was studying all this witchcraft. I thought everything was wonderful. The same spirits, as you said in the opening, that gave me power began to turn on me.
Why would they turn on you?
Because the personality of spirits of darkness is not a nice, friendly personality. I thought I had arrived. But as these spirits began to turn and to torment, the same spirits that gave me power to read cards and astral project and operate in the solical power, the psyche power, would turn on me. As if all of a sudden the same voices that would say, this man is committing adultery, or this woman steals at work, or this girl's going to get married last year, when I was reading cards, would now say to me, you should die.
You know, it is very sad how the use of magic has become a common source of guidance, protection, love-seeking, revenge, etc. It seems that people are turning to witchcraft instead of turning to God for their problems. I feel that people are seeing witchcraft as a go-to quick fix, and I feel that it is being used by people who don't have patience to wait on God, or people who work out of evil spirit, who seek to control the lives of others and their environment. Because everyone who uses magic, it came from a lack of faith. They may have experienced something and they were praying to God, and the attacks got stronger, and they may have fallen weak to Satan's attack. And they were like, you know what? I'm just going to do the same thing against them that they're doing against me, because I know that they're using magic against me. And since I'm praying and I feel that things aren't working, I'm just going to take it upon myself and I'm going to do a protection spell. Not knowing that when they perform this protection spell, they too are opening doors, for demonic spirits to take over. And these spirits will not only go against the person that they're using the magic against, but they will also attack the person who is performing the magic as well. I feel that this is something that needs to be taken more serious as possible, because I feel that it is being used as a weapon. And I feel that it is being used as a physical and spiritual weapon that is being formed against us during these end times. And this is the time to stay close to God, guys. Pray consistently over yourselves, your family, your loved ones for protection against evil. Pray to the Most High for discernment. Pray to Him for strength. Pray for Him for the ability to pray against these attacks that may be formed against you. And the Most High will protect you with strong prayer and obedience, as He said that no weapons formed against you shall prosper in Isaiah 54:17. Guys, I'm going to read a couple of signs to you for any of you that feel that you may have been inflicted by witchcraft or know someone that has. One thing that would happen if you are under a witchcraft infliction, you may all of a sudden get a clouded mind. You may have a sudden case of fog brain. You may have a clouded thought pattern, as if someone is trying to steal or control your thoughts. You may also hear evil voices, like someone's trying to attack you, someone's trying to implant fear. You may also feel sick. You may feel nauseated. You may also have vomiting. You may have a slight headache in the middle of your forehead. It's painful, but it's not painful. I don't know how it's like a slight pain. You may have stomach ache. You may feel dizzy. You may feel weak. Some people may have even experienced hair loss from witchcraft. And guys, I'm not trying to implant fear in anyone or trying to be negative by telling you guys these things. I just want you guys to be aware, because these things are true. People do these type of things, and you can experience these symptoms and not know why they're happening to you, and you won't know what to pray against. I experienced this, and I didn't know what to pray against until the Most High presented it to me. And guys, believe it or not, God would even show you the people who are inflicting magic in your life. You may also experience nightmares, and as I said, you may see the person who is behind the attacks in your dream. It could be the witch doctor that they paid to do it. It could be the person if they perform the magic on you themselves. Yeah, sometimes the Most High will reveal in dreams. You may also have random mishaps. Even something as petty as clumsiness, falling, dropping things. That's not even a coincidence. To constantly fall, have an accident, or drop something. That's someone trying to inflict harm and delay in your life. Accidentally breaking things, your personal items, mainly. And it can just be random things around the house. Also, you may experience spiritual attacks. It will come, in physical form from family, friends, partners, children, or even random people. Also, these attacks could be spiritual. You could hear, as I mentioned earlier, demonic forces trying to attack you in your mind. When these things are happening to you, call out to God for deliverance, full healing, restoration, and protection. in the spiritual and in the physical realm, because these things start in the spiritual realm first, and then it crosses over to the physical realm. And then that's when we begin to experience these type of attacks, when people are inflicting witchcraft in our lives. Also, if you have a dream where someone's trying to offer you food, or you see yourself about to eat something, if you're conscious in the spirit, pray against it, rebuke it. Because a lot of us are very aware and conscious in our dreams. It's something like you have the conscious mind of sleep paralysis without the sleep paralysis, if you know what I mean. And guys, also, if you feel that you are experiencing these things, fast to detach from any demonic forces that could be possibly connected with any forms of witchcraft in your life. Anything that you may feel that is causing the witchcraft, because it could come from songs. Songs have spells on them. Certain pieces of clothing. It just depends. The Most High will lead you and let you know if you are experiencing this, where it is coming from. Also, if you have a suspicion of who the person is, and even if you don't, pray and ask the Most High to show you signs, of why you may feel suspicious of this person. And if your suspicions are accurate, proven through the Most High, immediately rebuke the spirit and actions of that person, and immediately separate yourself from that person if you can. And guys, I know that sometimes when these things happen and someone says pray, it's just like, pray, is this really going to help against the attacks that I've been experiencing? Yes. Prayer is very, very, very powerful, and the Most High wants us to use it. He wants us to utilize prayer at all times through any situation that we are experiencing, mainly in the spirit. Pray without ceasing, guys, because believe it or not, although it seems that the enemy is powerful over your life, he's not. And he's especially afraid of prayer. When you pray, the enemy is shaking in his boots, because he knows that you are calling on the Most High, and he knows that the Most High will cast out all evil and negative spirits in your life. So continue to pray, guys, and never let things get so bad that it distracts you and cause you to have a lack of faith in God, and cause you to feel that prayer isn't going to work and it's not strong enough to help you overcome your issues, because it is. The Most High is very powerful, and his word is just as powerful. So, also, don't fear, guys. Don't fear any of these things, because I'm going to tell you, black magic, as with any other form of magic, it's literally done to destroy you. So if you're only feeling symptoms and you're still able to get out of bed and, function through a day-to-day, but you're experiencing these symptoms, just know that the Most High is with you. Because when these people perform magic against you, they're literally trying to take you out. They're trying to destroy you, literally. So just know that you have nothing to fear. The Most High is always going to protect you from these afflictions. But make sure you pray to show your faith and gratitude and diligence towards the Most High. I love you guys so much. I hope that this video helps someone. Share this video. Like this video. Comment with me down in the comment section regarding to this video. Just let me know how you feel about the topic at hand. I love you guys so much. Continue to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. And until the next video, peace and blessings. Mwah.